Perfect! And this is Bobbie Shelton.
Hi guys. So, you want to be in background. Congratulations, you just picked the best part-time hobby. Rolling. Okay, that's your first instruction. Anytime you hear rolling, that means. I use it at casting coffee too, when we have like a big group and we're going to have a speaker. I'll just say rolling. So that's your first cue right there. Be quiet. How you doing? So I am going to, I did this in old people's script so I can read it. So, first we're going to talk about the casting directors of New Mexico background film. You're going to go, you've got the list there of who they are. It's Elizabeth Gable casting, Latham casting, let me know when you've run that page, Sandy and Leslie, Robert Baxter, he doesn't have his profile page up, but he will soon. You want to go to their page, and I'm going to go to Lori's right now because hers is easy, even I can do it. Good. You are offline. So much for that. So, if you guys do happen to have service on your phone, or if not, you will go, for example, to Lori Latham Casting's website. That's where you go first. That's where you will fill out the profile. When it comes to your profile, you're going to want to put in a headshot. It will ask you, it will give you prompts all the way through. You will give yourself a username and a password, write it down, or just use the same one over and over again like me, because I'm old and it's easier to remember. So just follow the prompts. It's pretty darn easy. The one thing I'd like to stress, you know, other than just your basic information, where you live, what kind of car you drive, etc., special skills. Dig deep. Dig deep on special skills. If you were a banker for 20 years, put it on there. If you were a school teacher, put it on there. Doesn't mean horse riding, juggling, bowling, but put those on there too. Because the reason you have this profile set up is some crazy director is going to say, I need 8 bowlers. And your casting agent is going to type in bowlers, and they're going to have their 8 bowlers. And then everybody else will fill it. So take your time with your special skills. Go ahead and fill that out to the maximum. So we're going to talk headshots first. Who has headshots right now? Cool. Great. I handed out a list of people who are suggested headshot photographers. We're going to add 2 names to that list. One is here. Okay. If you've got a pen, go ahead and where I gave you, does everyone have the list of headshot photographers for me?
No, I don't.
No?
I didn't pick it.
You don't need it. You want one.
I want it, just to have it on hand.
Headshot photographer, Vicky one. But if you have a pen, please add Robert Mesa. And again, these are people in Santa Fe, okay? This is being a Santa Fe group, I wanted more to offer you. They reached out to me after I printed, so that's why we need to write them in. You can find these people on Facebook. Most of them have websites. You can go to their websites. I've listed pricing for people who have offered me pricing. The other one is Linda Cafar. Go ahead.
Carfagno.
Linda Cafargno. It's C-A-R-F-A-G-N-O. And you have a website as well as
No,
Facebook?
but you can just type in the name and get examples of live work.
Great. So she's offering an hour for $90 with one change, or $150 with multiple changes, and she also does video auditions. And so does this gentleman over here. This is J. Nathan Simmons. Write him down too. These are all people you can find on Facebook.
His last name?
Simmons.
Simmons, S-I-M-M-O-N-S. Fun guy to work with. And Joan, of course, is here as well. She's listed. She's a Santa Fe person. So if you have not had a headshot session yet, what you can do, what anybody can do, is take a selfie. A lot of the casting directors prefer a selfie. A selfie is just a really nice headshot from about here up of you. It's not you driving in your car, okay? Best if you use a background a lot like this. Part of the reason for this is because if it's director's pick, they're going to print out all those headshots, they're going to put them on a table, and the director's going to go, what that one, what that one, that one, that one. So if you have a clear background, it really helps them in selecting. And then they're going to say, and give me 50 more, and walk away. So that's basically how it works, and that's where you'll get your casting calls as to whether or not you're featured or not. That would be considered featured if you've been picked by a director. And we all kind of like that. So, again, if you don't have a selfie, just take a nice selfie, get somebody to take it for you. Real quick, we're going to talk about age. That's a good one. Age range is what it basically amounts to. Sandy Lessie, who is a professional casting agent on your list from LA, came up with a wonderful solution. That was fun. So go to the mall, walk up to 3 people you don't know, go to the grocery store, say I'm doing something for college, I'm doing something that I'm doing online. How old do I look to you? And don't feel uncomfortable, just tell me the truth. Ask 3 different people, that's your range. I've gotten from way over to way over, but between the two. And also what you're wearing. What do you think I do for a living, or what I could do for a living? That's kind of typecasting yourself, but that's how you're going to get work. If they see you as being the office worker, that's where you're going to get work. Okay? I've done homeless, I've done everything. In one series, I went from a homeless woman to the Republican National Convention in, 8 episodes. So you just never know where you're going to end up. All right, so get the headshots, get that going. Get your profiles up. Now, casting calls will appear on the New Mexico Film Office website or on New Mexico Film-based Facebook pages. Type in NM Film on Facebook, you'll find lots of them. A good one to belong to is New Mexico, or follow. You don't have to belong, you follow. New Mexico Film Extras and Actors Forum. That's Roy's page. He started many years ago, 7,000 people on there. Every casting director hits that one. Okay? I prefer not to put casting on mine because they'll put them where they want. But you will find them scattered, and they're all over the place. So just look for them. And of course, always the New Mexico Film Office is a good source for that. Read the post carefully, okay? If they're asking for 18 to 22-year-olds to do a rape, I ain't some bitten. You're wasting time for the casting director, for one. It's not like I want my face out there, I want them to see me, I want them to know me. You're wasting their time. Look at the submission and see if you fit. If you do not fit, you do not submit. It goes that way. So if they're looking for, like Longmire employed a lot of us because we look like everyday people. So, it just depending on what they're looking for. So, a submission would be your headshot. with a full body if you have one. A full body is nice to have. Again, stand against the wall. Have somebody take a picture of you from the knees up. That gives them an idea of your height, which you're also going to list. Your height, your weight, your hair and eye color, and your vehicle. They like to know about your vehicle. They can use your vehicle sometimes. Now that, you will get a bump. You will get an extra $25 if they use your vehicle in the scene. And you will see calling out for older beaters. Older beaters, you know, thanks to Obama, there's not a lot of those around anymore. But yeah, look for calls for your vehicle, because they'll pay you for your vehicle and you'll sit in holding and they'll use you as well. So, you've gone ahead, you've responded to the casting call. So, the phone rings, congratulations. It's Lori Latham, Elizabeth Gable, Mary Bowen, it's somebody on the other line saying, I'm calling from such and such casting. You are employed from that moment on, not only by your casting director, but by a production. Please keep the big picture in mind. The reason I say that is we want New Mexico film to look good. I worked on a series last year, and towards the end of it, the lady who was from LA said, you know what, this was a great cast, your background were fantastic. All the stuff I heard in LA was wrong. And I'm like, what you hear in LA? What are they talking about? You know? So please be professional. It's a job. It's fun, but it's a job. So treat it as such. On the phone, be polite. You know, with whoever calls you, thank them for the phone call. Something I've learned through trial and error, it doesn't hurt to ask at that point, where are you going to be filming? Sometimes a post will say Santa Fe area, and then you find out it's Tasuki. And if you're from Albuquerque, you have no idea what a Tasuki is or how to pronounce it. So ask them where you're filming. Sometimes it'll be like Glorietta. They will say general area, but you need to add that into the focus of your drive time and how long it's going to take you there. So just politely say, can I ask where this is going to be filmed? It will show up later when you get your information that night. But again, I like to find that out. So, then you'll receive your confirmation, generally by email. You will get a confirmation that evening. Crew works 8 hours. They have 8 hours off, correct?
Yeah, they have to, that's the turnaround.
So if crew
12 hours,
does,
12 hours.
well, so if crew does not wrap till midnight, you're not going to know your call time till midnight. So, that's why I'm saying get your general information so you can make a game plan for that day. You'll get an email. If you don't have it by the time you feel it's time for you to go to bed, check it in the morning. Please get yourself a good night's sleep. And you will get directions, you will get a map, you'll get costume guidelines, and you'll get hair and makeup guidelines. Again, I came what they consider camera ready. Very light makeup. No glitter or anything of that nature, unless it's requested. Costume, except for the jeans, I would consider myself business casual, especially for New Mexico. Some will be upscale, you know, it just depends on the call. You'll see all that in the casting call before you submit. Wardrobe, bring 3 options. They always appreciate 3 options. I was on something this year and I dragged 4 coats. And they looked at me and they said, you're fine. And I'm like, would you look? these are heavy. So always wear your first option, what you're comfortable in, okay? But bring 3 separate options. Get yourself a garment bag or a suitcase, bring 3 separate options. For women, that goes for jewelry as well. If it's a period piece, which you will know, then it is no makeup. Women, it is no nail polish. They don't have time to take your nail polish off. Not even clear. They're very, very strict about that. When it's got to look authentic. We're in the West. So you can go with the light BB. You know, they will give you plenty of sunscreen. But yeah, if it's a period piece, you will either have hair and makeup or you won't. So just keep that in mind too.
And
so
if
it does say you will have hair and makeup, just come with clean hair and come with no makeup on. Maybe, like I said, a BB cream.
They provide your costumes. for that.
Yeah.
For period pieces, which is nice.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, you're getting ready to go to set. Please make sure you have your proof of residency, which is your New Mexico driver's license, your social security card. Those two, gotta have them. You can use your passport if you're more comfortable with that. I'm a registered alien, I use my alien card, so whatever works for you. Call time is 6:30. You should arrive at 6:15 at the latest. On time is late. Okay, on time is late because that's when the PA starts calling people and she's overloaded, he's overloaded. These are your best friends for the day. So if you're running late, go ahead and call. There'll be a number to call, let them know. But 30 minutes is best. Couple reasons why 30 minutes is best, because if there's breakfast served, you'll be able to have breakfast, you'll have time. But you need to go through all the steps before you're totally ready. So you'll be driving around and you'll look for signs that say background, extras, base camp. That's where you're gonna park for the day, okay? A lot of times, especially again on period pieces, you're not parking on set because they don't have Toyotas and wagons at the same time. So, you will look for your base camp. That is where you're parking. Don't go to set, look for base camp if that's what your instructions are. Again, you will get a map. You will get all this information. If you have a question, once you get it, call your casting director, text your casting director and say, hey, I have no idea what this is, help me out. But most of us have GPS. It's the only way I found my way here today. So put it in your GPS so you're ready to go. So you're going to park there, and generally you're going to catch a van to with the actual holding for that scene. Bring your wardrobe with you, bring your creature comforts with you, bring a tablet, bring a cell phone. Some people like to bring their own chairs. It just depends on how much stuff you want to carry. Have your wardrobe options with you. You'll see white vans, generally. You'll get on the van, and the van will take you to the holding area. So you got base camp for your car, and you got holding for your person. Holding is your area for the rest of the day, okay? There is security for your cars. Don't worry about your car. It's going to be taken care of. So the first thing you want to do when you get to holding is you want to find your PA. That's going to be the person at a table with paperwork in front of them in a line. That's your PA, okay? Or ask somebody. Somebody who looks like they may know what they're doing. And you'll get your paperwork. You'll get an I-9 and a W-2 you need to fill out. If it's your first time, and most everybody here, it will be your first time. So fill those out. Also, the top part, I wish I had one. They guard them like they're gold. The top will be all of your information for payroll. So your social, your mailing address, your email address. So it's a three copy thing, okay? Fill it all out. Then you get back into a second line where they're going to verify all that. And hopefully that'll expedite things. You'll go through that too, okay? They will expedite, and then you're done. You're checked in. They've checked you off the list. They know you're present. You've got your paperwork. Now's a great time to go catch breakfast, if they have breakfast available. When it comes to food, when it comes to breakfast, lunch, dinner, generally there's going to be two lines or two areas. One is background. If you see one that's got shrimp, lobster, and steak, that's crew and cast, okay? You will be fed well. When everybody sees Mario's, they just go, ah. You will be fed well, but make sure you get into the correct line. Also know when we break for lunch or dinner, the cast and crew are going to eat first. Don't feel like a second-rate citizen. They get their hours before we get there. They only have X amount of time to eat before they have to get back on set. So please don't take that as an insult. They will feed you. They will take care of you. Okay? There's usually coffee, soft drinks, anything you need. So you're in holding, you've had breakfast. That's where you are. Sit back, relax. You're going to have a fun day. So just relax. I'm sorry, I forgot something. After you've done your paperwork and you're in holding, your PA is going to direct you to hair and makeup and wardrobe. And they will tell you which one to go to first because they try to get the lines through, okay? So if you go to wardrobe, take your paperwork with you, all three. Because if they outfit you, they're gonna keep it. They're gonna keep it. That's their insurance. They get their stuff back at the end of the day. Okay? So to make the lines move, they may say go to hair and makeup first. Generally for something like this, they'll look at me and they'll go, you're okay, just go sit down. You know, but they might want to increase it. So check in, make sure you've gone to hair and makeup and you have gone to wardrobe. Then get comfortable. Then you can enjoy your day. So you're in holding and the PA will come on. Generally, we have the most wonderful PAs in New Mexico. I don't think anybody has. I've heard from other people from other states. Our PAs rock. Most of them have what they call story time. And story time is just like, okay, you know, tell us what's happening. And they're going to tell you, well, so-and-so died. And so you're like, oh man, I watched that series. You know, so-and-so died and so-and-so's upset. Or, you know, it could even be something as small as, hey, you're going to be in a mall and there's going to be a terrorist attack. This is what story time is. So they can let you know what scene you're going to be involved in so you can be prepared to react to that scene. So then the PA, once they get ready, the PA will call you to set. The call will either be all background to set, or PA will come in and he'll go, you, Bobbie. That is because they are setting you. They are setting you on set. So sometimes it's not all background. They'll come back and they'll pick 6 more. They'll pick as many as they need. And they will put you where you belong on set. That is your 1. Okay, so this is your 1. I look at tiles. I look at what's around me. You know, I know this is my 1. Then you're waiting for the next prompt, which is going to be rolling. When you hear rolling, that means we're about to shoot. You'll hear rolling first. Everybody be really, really quiet. Then you will generally hear background. You move on background. Your PA will have told you, Bobbie, walk to the lady in the gray jacket over there and have a conversation. So, rolling, background. I will start walking. Then you will hear action. Action is for the major actors to get going. If they want some movement before. But I will stay with mine and I'll come over and I'll go. That's pantomiming. Okay? They want you to have some action. Remember that action. The more you remember that action, the better chance you have of not being on the editing floor. I count my steps. I count what did I do? What did I do when I came over here? Oh, I kind of went like this, and I looked at my watch. Back to 1. You will always be told to return back to 1. Because sometimes it'll take many times to get the scene correct. Okay? So your 1 is your 1. You may be moved from your 1. That's your new 1. Because that is basically rehearsal. Okay? This is before they're ready to shoot. At this point, you might be sent back to holding while they place the principal actors. You might be told to remain on set. If you're told to remain on set, once again, please try to keep it quiet. The cast and crew, director, PA, all these people are discussing the setup for the scene, and even whispering between us becomes a dull roar, and they do not need the distraction. Okay, so please, if you remain on set, remain quiet until you hear rolling and action once again. Again, when it's time for lunch or dinner breaks, your PA. Let's talk about your PA. Your PA is your best friend, okay? Treat them nicely, they'll treat you nicely. If you have an issue, I need to go to the restroom, you go to your PA. Your PA needs to know where you are for continuity. If they just filmed something and you were in it, and all of a sudden they film it and you're gone, it's like, oh, you know, they can't use that. So tell your PA, hey, I need to run and grab a coffee. Hey, I need to go to the bathroom. And they'll let you know. It may not be right when you want to go. They might say, you know, just, I'll let you know. Also, when it comes to lunch and dinner, you know, the PA will let you know when you are told it's lunch and dinner, not when the crew's told, when your PA says. It's lunch and dinner. It's lunch and dinner for you. That's something else about painting in here. And again, cast and crew will be fed first. Don't take it wrong, okay? So you'll go back to that wonderful holding for your lunch and get in line. And we usually have 30 minutes to eat. So from there, I'm going to go to the don'ts. Straight to the don'ts. Do not camera chase. It's very unattractive. Camera chase. Okay, I don't know where the cameras are, personally. I have no idea where the cameras are. I don't look for the cameras. Certain people are really good at knowing where that camera is, okay? If your one's over here, and I've been told to go to her, however, comma, Bob Odenkirk's right here, I'm not gonna like shuffle over to Bob and pull this. And you don't camera chase. You do not camera chase. You do. I know somebody who said, I always scratch my head. What, you want to be the Selson Blue guy? Come on, come on. Cameras are all over the place, different angles. You're gonna be caught. You're gonna be seen. Might be your elbow. What do you care? You were on that scene. That's the important thing. When you see that on the screen, and you know you were there, and you see yourself, it's a happy surprise. Not for me. I hate to see myself. I'm like, oh God, get that off there. So it's either a happy surprise, or you relive it. You relive it. You heard that scene done so many times over. You're like, I was there, man. I was there. I heard him mess those lines up, but look how it all came together. That's when you really understand the industry, how it all comes together after you spend 12 hours doing this. And it's condensed down to 3 or 4 minutes. That's how much work it takes. That's how much work it takes. Expect to be on set 8 to 12 hours. Okay, please. Just expect it. Your PA, once again, don't start going up to your PA going, you know, we're gonna get cut, because they're going to get that from everybody, and you don't want to be one of the ones that they're like, oh God, here she comes. When am I getting out of here? I got to drive home. I've got a 3-hour drive. Pace yourselves on that, okay? If you look at a submission and you don't think it's possible for you to do it, pass it, because there's going to be something else. Again, prepare for 8 to 12. 8 to 12, so when you're looking at your location, put in that hour it may take you to get to Albuquerque. Throw that in there. Put all these in your mind before you go to set. A good thing is, I see a lot of people in here who know each other. Rideshare. Rideshare is a very good solution for that. Because you got somebody else, they may be yammering and driving you crazy, but they're keeping you awake, aren't they? With their yammering and driving you crazy. Also, stop at a convenience store, get a cup of coffee for the road, don't be in a hurry. Please take care of yourselves. This is just for a movie. This is not your life. This is to be fun. Stay at a hotel if you want to. Whatever you need, whatever it takes, okay? So please keep all that in mind before you go ahead and go to set. No photography is allowed on set. Tempting, 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 tempting. The cell phones need to be turned off when you're on set. Totally off, okay? They hear a ring, boy, they're gonna find you. They see you take a picture, you're gonna be escorted right off the set.
Even vibrating.
Even vibrating. Yep, totally off. Totally off on set, okay in holding. If you want to check in holding, that's fine. If you want to call your husband, you know, and he's going to say, when are you going to be home? You're going to be like, I know. But, you know, if you want to check in with your family or whatever, holding, that's where you take care of that kind of stuff. So cell phones off when you're on set. No photography on set. Photography and holding, if you want to get a picture of you and your buddies, or you really like your costume, sure, take a private little picture, but nothing, absolutely nothing gets posted on Facebook or anywhere until the night after that series is done the series you were in, the episode you were in, or that movie has been released to theaters. Don't put on your Facebook, I'm on set on Saul. Okay, one, we don't want to hear it because we're not there on Saul. And I know PAs are looking on there going, God darn it, Matthew's on Facebook again. They're looking for it. So just, you're excited, but just keep it, keep it to yourself. I share with my family. That's fine. That's not a problem at all. But as far as anything public, do not post until after it's over.
You gotta tell your family the same thing.
So that's a wrap. That's a wrap. Those are good words, especially after 14 hours. That's a wrap means they're done for the day. However, that's a wrap does not mean you are done for the day. Till you hear, now I know. They'll wrap actors, they'll wrap so-and-so. Till you hear it from your PA, you are not wrapped. And a good example of this, I was on Viva Capri last year. A second AD or whatever said, that's wrapping, that's wrapping. He's running back, she's filling out paperwork, and here comes our first PA. And he's like, where is everybody? Well, they were wrapped, they went home. He's like, I need 20 people on set now. So until your PA has wrapped you, you are not wrapped. Don't listen to anybody. Some of you can come in the room and go, we're wrapped. Do you hear it from your PA? You are not wrapped. So you're wrapped. Congratulations, you've had a long day. So you did a Western. Now you're going to go get into your street clothes. Or what if they pick something you didn't wear. Always wear your first choice. But if they give you costume, you'll go, there's holding tents, there's places to change, you'll change. Please put your clothes back on the hangers correctly. You get them in the question mark. Put it back there that way, button them up. You're really helping costume out because chances are they're going to be doing it the next morning. So they really don't have, just be, you guys are all polite, just be polite. Think about things like that. So you return everything to costume where you get your paperwork back that they've been keeping because they know they've gotten everything back. Now, if wardrobe approved you in what you're wearing, you can immediately go to the PA, the guy at the desk with all the paperwork again, and sign out for the evening. They will sign you out on your time. You will get, of the 3 copies you filled out, you will get a pink slip. That is yours for your records, okay? I like to keep my, payment can be 10 to 12 days. Payment can be 20 days. Do not think you've been forgotten. It depends on the production. If it's a new production especially, it may take a little bit longer. But if you have any questions about payroll, you look at that pink slip. That is the payroll department. Don't call your casting agent. They're not cutting the checks. A lot of people don't realize that. So Elizabeth Gable has hired you. She has nothing to do with that, okay? Call the production company. You may be asked to come back the next day. That's kind of cool. If you're too tired, tell them, no, I can't make it. But for continuity's sake, if you can make it, that's great. Gauge that on your own. So now you're done with holding. You've gathered all the stuff you came with, whether you brought a chair with you, a blanket, a pillow, whatever. You got everything with you because, believe me, lost and found doesn't happen. You'll get back on the van. You'll be returned to your car. And you're free to go. Again, if you got a long drive, stop at a convenience store, get a cup of coffee, take a breath, be safe driving home. It's so important. And again, if it logistically looks like something you can't do, for one, never be a no-show. Never be a no-show. There was something recently where it was one of those rave type things, and the casting agent was left short about 30 people. Those are young people who are not taking this seriously, in my opinion, okay? If you've committed to your casting director, you've committed to the production. So don't be a no-show, because you will be a no-call. So, right now, I've given you the list of headshots, people. I'm going to go ahead and have Linda come up and tell you a little bit about headshots. Come on up, girl. Or Linda, right?
Oh, yeah. sorry.
You love me. I need to do a time check. Oh, we're doing good.
Well, let's have some questions first.
I haven't heard what the wage typically is.
Pardon me?
I haven't heard what the wage typically is. The
Wage is minimum wage for the first 8 hours. I think in Santa Fe it's 12 something. Out here in Albuquerque it's 9 something. After 8 hours you get time and a half. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions about headshots or had a bad experience with headshots or want to share anything like that? No? Yeah. What is it?
Well, I have a vague idea what it is, but also what do you wear
Oh,
for
yeah.
casting calls? There's something,
just-
hope we have a Q&A at the end of this.
What I like
yeah,
is- what I like is.
she's just here to
bring
tell you about
something that
headshots.
you're really, really comfortable in, for one thing, because I like to have fun with it. And you want to have basic colors they don't want you to wear, like red, black, and white. Those colors will look very stark against your skin, and that's what you see instead of your face. When you're in there and we're talking, if it's a woman or a guy, we try hair a different way, because I think that sometimes you feel more comfortable one way, but you should have a second look. I don't like to be rushed. I usually don't stick to the hour, because it just doesn't, who cares? You want a good headshot, so that's what's important. So you kind of go with it till it works. I don't particularly like a straight pose, like your head's slightly tilted. It's very pretty. You have to watch your hand because it makes you look amputated certain ways with your hands. So usually, there's certain poses that kind of work really well. I like a variety of color in the back. Usually a nice soft gray is good. Yellow isn't good because it seems to put a pallor on your skin. So does a yellow shirt. Some people look really nice in pink. But you're not looking for the clothes, you're looking for your eyes, that sort of thing.
So again,
That's all I can say.
It's almost like costume, bring 2 or 3 options.
Yeah.
And your headshot photographer will help you through it. I'm going to bring up one more person real quick, and then we will start Q&A. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you so much. So here's Linda from Santa Fe. She's already got you shot, honey. She knows what you're going to look like. She got you done. So quickly, Sylvie is going to come up because I have not taken tactical. And she's going to give us a short rundown about tactical. Tactical is, if you see that casting call for a cop, for a soldier, military, whatever, it's nice to be tactically trained. And she's going to tell you what.
Hi, I'm Sylvie. Well, basically, it's a training. You can find it in different places on Facebook.
Denver Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Also, where you wrote your notes, Denver Johnson. Again on Facebook, tactical acting.
There
So
are
you're not-
other ones,
there
but
are
he is
other ones.
really good.
He's
I
really
took
good.
his class, and his prices are really reasonable. You go in, you spend like a half day or a day.
Can you give the name again? Things are coming kind of fast. in
Oh,
terms
it's
of-
on
I'm sorry. Denver Johnson, tactical acting. Again on Facebook.
Okay, I'll hush now because it's.
Oh, no problem. So you just go in, they teach you how to handle a gun, how to handle a shotgun, how to handle different situations as a police officer, military, or like old-fashioned at war, how to conduct yourself, how to speak to superiors. Basically, it's just a rundown, and it teaches you a lot of things. But then, the good news is you go online, you put that in your thing, tactical
profile.
acting, and all of a sudden you're getting calls. Hey, we need a police officer. Hey, we need military. Hey, we need... And that, like, right away you get like a certificate, and that gives you, more possibilities.
Yeah. Because we do a lot of thank you, Sylvia.
Yep.
We did Denver Johnson, technical acting. We do a lot of war films here, you know, a lot of that, a lot of westerns. So hey, if you know how to, especially women, you know how to handle a rifle, they like that. Now, if you already know how, just put that in your special skills. But it's a good course to take because, as it was explained to me, you got somebody who's a cop and he's holding it wrong. And he's going around wrong, you know, or he's doing this number. There's going to be somebody in the audience who's going to spot that and pick it apart. And that's why, you know, you need to be you need to know how they do it and respond to those. Some of you got a little form that I kind of get a kick of. It's called film industry terms. Yes, your film industry terms. I'll hand some around. These are things to look for. These are flags, okay? If you see a casting call that says collaboration, guess what? No pay. You see something that says assistant, no pay. Micro budget, no pay. Seeking film students, internship. We have A-listers, no pay. They're getting paid, you're not. First of many projects, ain't happening.
Deferred.
So I'm wanting you to just kind of, and I've got one handout, target those. Look to see if it's paid. It's fun to do independent films. It's a good way to get your acting chops, okay? But I went to a luncheon where Elizabeth Gable spoke. She's probably the longest, maybe other than Robert Baxter, the longest casting agent in Albuquerque. And when they said, what do you tell your people? She says, I tell them to get paid. You know, I tell them to get paid. Those of you, again, who want to reach out and act, go ahead, do it in year 2, get it under your belt. But we're talking just background now, we're talking about getting on this set. And I'm so sorry, I'm going to open to questions. Yes, ma'am.
How many headshots should you submit?
Oh, very good question. Generally, just one, and then a full body shot, or as I said, from the knees up. Very good question. If you have 2 that you like, you know, but you can, it depends on the site. Some will take 2 or 3. But generally, the director is going to be looking at your best. Any other question?
Comment on that one. Current headshots do have a shelf life. Don't
Yeah.
use something you used 10 years ago.
Yeah, and don't. Somebody did a glam shot for me. I call it Lego Barbie. I will never use it. I mean, Lego Barbie. Yes, I mean I'm totally plastic, and it's hello 20. I barely remember you because I was having fun back then. Doesn't look anything like me. So I will not use it because when I show up on set, they're going to go, that is not Lego Barbie. That's Bobbie. Yes, dear.
You said there was a limit for the headshots? What's the limit? Like 3 months or 6
Oh, no,
months?
no, no, no. As long as you still look like that, you're fine. If you cut your hair, generally, they'll say once a year. I'm running with 2-year-old ones because they still look like me, so they're, because I had a really good headshot photographer. So, you know, but if you change your hair, definitely. And again, selfies, they like selfies. Yes, Joe.
Oh, Johnny Black has the horseback riding classes for actors.
Horseback riding, great
And
skill to
stunt.
have. You
Johnny
can find those.
Johnny Black.
Black Mesa Equine
Black
Services.
Mesa Equine Services.
And you
That's
can do
in Santa Fe,
stunts.
right?
Yeah,
well,
well,
he
up
said
in
that-
Espanola.
In Espanola,
Espanola.
that's your
Sorry.
neck of the woods, it's not mine.
How did you forget that?
I know.
So yeah, horseback riding, some people already horseback ride. Unfortunately, you do have to be certified by some people. So, you know, if you do ride a horse, they may ask you to come in and show them that you know how.
And
But-
falling off the horse too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hurling yourself off.
Yes, ma'am.
Does he take people who are just starting to learn, or does he want to take people who already know how to ride and want the
He takes
certification?
everybody.
He takes everybody.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And Daisy, Marie, somebody else does that too. I think.
Yeah, I'll post a few more.
Okay.
I'll be sharing with the New Mexico Film Office. I'll also be posting on my casting copy page. Casting copy is just a social group of background people who get together every 2 weeks and go, okay, what's happening?
And we have fun.
Someone tell me what's happening, what's going on. I'd like to have one here in Santa Fe as well, because it's an opportunity for you to go and go, why didn't I get called by OLC? And somebody will say, well, because they use 20-year-olds. And you go, oh. They don't hate me. Never think your casting agent hates you. We all do that to ourselves. It's like, Gloria hasn't called me, she must hate me. They don't hate you, okay? A lot of times it's been director's pick, a lot of times it's small background. So never take it personal. But submit. Any other questions? Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
that's in Albuquerque. How do you get hooked up with casting copy?
It's
Online?
Casting Copy Group.
Okay.
C-O-P-Y or coffee?
Copy.
C-O-F-F-U-Y.
Yes. Casting Copy Group. Yes. Casting Copy Group. It's on Facebook. Yes.
SAG membership?
SAG's a whole different animal. They are gonna have a class on that. Okay, so be looking for that, I'm not sure, just look at the calendar, but you'll find it. That's a whole other animal. I'm happy in background.
Yeah, that's for actors.
That is for actors, yes. There are plenty of wonderful acting coaches in town. Again, you can look those up on Facebook. A lot of them advertise on my page, Casting Copy. I don't know who else doing it up here in Santa Fe. Any other questions? I feel like I've skipped over something. Yes, dear.
There's really not a question but a comment. I guess I wanted to add 4 headshots would be to recommend that people to have 2 headshots. They love if you have one that's smiling and one that's serious, known as theatrical or commercial. So if obviously if you know the show's a comedy or there's different times where you might want that little more serious look, and obviously like if you're working with Linda or someone like that, she's going to know that about wanting to get one of you looking natural and smiling and one serious. And then also, as she kind of described, please avoid like crazy to just see your face. So like a shirt I'm in, a little bit too much.
Right, exactly.
Right, it's distracting versus if we just have a solid, solid shade, that's a much easier thing. Quick, they can see you, not, whoa, look at those crazy glasses they have.
And no sunglasses, no hats.
Yeah,
no
sunglasses,
hats.
no sunglasses, no hats.
Off?
No, you can have your shot. I would take one with and one without, to be honest with you.
And can you submit both? Or
Yes, ma'am.
2 or
They like to
3?
see your
Yes,
eyes. So,
One with hair up, one with hair down?
Glasses.
Sure.
Yeah,
You know,
you look different each,
Yeah.
you have a different,
that's why you want to
Feel
go to
your
a
face.
professional photographer for the most
and I
part.
also find that, I guess for women anyway, sometimes, or anyway, you don't want to be stiff, so you don't know what to do with your hands sometimes out from behind. So if you have a scarf, it's not going to be in the headshot, but it gives you something to do. It's like having a teddy bear, you kind of, oh, okay, I've got my scarf, or linus blanket, but I mean, it's something to do.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, it gives you something to do with your hands and makes you comfortable. It's a little thing, but it works.
I can tell you, a selfie is fine if you're on a budget and you're just getting started. Again, keep the clothing very basic. But a professional headshot's just gonna lift up a little higher there, folks. But again, if you're on a budget, a selfie will work. Yes.
I've recently did headshots for a gentleman who had been doing Western stuff, and he shaved his beard. And I didn't know that he had done that till he got there.
Yeah.
And his whole face underneath the beard was a different color than the face. So
Oh.
he was just pale
Yeah.
and real red. And I spent 3 days trying to fix that.
You didn't put makeup on him?
We didn't have any because I thought he had a
With
beard
his-
still.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah,
so,
men,
guys,
men
if you
get
change
ready for it,
drastically
man.
like
It's
that,
tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear from your casting agents, man, grow that hair out, grow that beard out, grow that mustache out, we're doing westerns, and then they're gonna say, calling for bankers, and they're gonna wanna, if they shave you, they'll give you an extra $25. But, Well, like this one kid, you know, they shaved him and they trimmed his hair and he wanted a bump and they didn't give it to him. And I'm like, you look great, go to your mother's house right now. She'd love to see you looking like that. She hasn't seen you look like that in years. So it's very hard for the guys. I really feel for you because it'll be shaved, you know, don't shave, cut your hair short, leave your hair long. We can be doing 1990s, we can be doing 80s, we can be doing 1890s. It just depends on the switch. More questions, please, yes.
So, hi, so you have a list of the casting directors, and so do you go with one casting agent, or do
No
you
ma'am,
set
you
it up to
go with
everybody?
all of them.
Okay.
You go on with all of them, you set, thank you, you set up your profile. Okay. If you are having a problem with the profile, send them one. Just, you know, wait for the first submission, even if you don't fit. Just send them and say, you know, or what do you think, Nathan? Can they just one time, Richard, can they one time just, yeah. Our casting directors are fabulous. If you want to go home, you've got their email address, short introduction about yourself, just took the class, interested in background. You know, I did fill out a profile. That's fine. Just don't pound them. The biggest
Try it,
offender is, I can wear a uniform, be a cop. No. I was on Waco, and we weren't holding it up, but he was kind of sleepy. And I go, all right, we need 5 guys. And they're like, all right, that can hold a gun. Ooh, you know, ooh, it's a toy, I want to play with a gun, okay? So that's why your tactical training is important, especially for you, sir. I mean, you look like you could be FBI, HRT, right over there. You're perfect for Westerns. I mean, you know, everybody's got their luck. Everybody's got their luck.
That's actually a good note, because it's like, if you have a weapon on set they've given you, treat it like it's not yours. You keep it in your holster at all times.
Yeah.
You don't point it at anybody. You'll be 86 from set so quickly for doing that.
Yeah, I know, it's
Don't
toys,
steal it.
it's toys, boys, but I was on Sicario and a whole group of people who, I don't know if they were tactically trained, but they started like playing with their guns and they were fired on the spot. The guns weren't loaded, mind you, but they were fired on the spot.
They must have the rubber, so I mean, same difference.
Yeah.
Treat them like they're real.
Well, can I just throw in a thing that I learned?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I have had some training. Every gun is loaded, even if you can see air in it. You keep it in your mind that every gun is loaded, and you never point a gun at anything you aren't willing to shoot.
Exactly.
So that
Exactly.
can help you get the frame of mind about handling it.
There have been accidents where people have been killed on movie sets.
Yes, there have. Yes, there have, even with the blanks, you're right.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Something else be, yes, sir. Hi.
Hi. Is it recommended to take acting classes?
If you want to be an actor, you bet. You bet. Again, as you find these Facebook, NM Film, boom, you will find, you know, acting classes. Look at how much they cost. Go to school, you know, I mean, don't they have here, they have classes here at the university. That's a good
Santa Fe
one.
Community College.
Richard Deal, where should people go?
For classes?
For acting classes.
I think SOL,
Soul Academy, yeah, again, you'll find them.
Laura Cunningham. would be able-
Laura Cunningham, there's people branching out all over the place. I will try and provide that list as well. I don't take acting classes myself. I'm retired, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. Someone's paying me $12 an hour to sit, drink coffee, have fun with my friends, you know, and be on a movie set. Don't tell them, it's my secret, okay? They don't know that. They don't know I'm having a good time. They think I'm working. Yeah.
Kind of a layered question. When you get that call,
Yes, ma'am.
these are the things that I kind of get stuck on. You get the call, and go, oh yeah, because I get the ones.
Yeah.
And it's like, yay! And it really is fun. But you don't really know all of what you need until you log on after 7. So I'm thinking if I can ask about
Yes.
where is this, if it's like way far away,
That's why I
and
brought
don't
it
have
up.
a way to, I can ask them then.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, and I want to ask you also for banquet things, maybe one should have. I don't wear any makeup. When I saw makeup on the thing, I called her up. I'm like, Bareface was good, glory hallelujah, that's how I live.
Yeah.
But, and they can put
And
stuff
you
on
don't
you.
need it,
Huh?
and you don't need it.
But at least I had a sense of what kind of clothes I needed.
Oh, yes, you will
So-
get all that
But-
when you get your email that night.
I'd like to know before that, what spread of things should I have on hand? Because I have, oh, and I have some kind of yoga athletic pants, I have some jeans, I have some this. I'm guessing I maybe need some Western shirts, so they're examples of things. Because when you find out at 7:30 at night that you need to have something you don't own, I know they have things in the trailer, but I would like to be able
Yeah.
to bring something to the
You
party.
really want to bring something to the party because you don't want to be in that costume line, okay? Of course, if it's a period piece, you are because you're dressing 1890s.
Yeah.
But you really don't want to be in the costume line. Again, that is going to be, when they do the call out, they're going to say, we need hotel patrons upscale, age to 55, you know.
Oh, that's the thing that comes online before you even
Yes,
submit.
before you even get to that. So, you know, look for that. Thrift stores will become your best friend, your best friend. I was on Dig, which was quite a few years ago. We dressed for a banquet scene, so I had a ball gown that they put me in, so I went to the thrift store and I bought 12 ball gowns because I figured I'm gonna need them, and I haven't worn them since, but I got them. I got them.
They're there.
And again, you know, if you're at a thrift store or whatever, and you see Western Tree, like, pick it up, pick it up, get your, I have one whole closet that is just costumes. And when I was on Waco, which is set in 1993, they let me wear my own clothes. That's almost embarrassing. I'm honest, I'm wearing that long. But I didn't have to get my own.
I was asked to dress as a cougar.
As a what?
Oh.
A cougar?
Yes, so I went to
Yes, do
the
that.
thrift store.
Yeah, you got a thrift store, because I got
animal
animal would never
prints.
wear again.
The one show I get to wear, my favorite wardrobe was the Hawaiian shirts. And I got to wear it through the whole season, so.
Yeah. I think they need us to wrap, I'd love any more questions.
I have a comment.
Yeah.
It was a grave scene on a big, what were they having? Like a lot of people outside, he was, you know, up there, he was campaigning.
Yeah.
And I took my boyfriend, he got accepted to go on the set as background. I will not take him again.
Yeah.
He does not know how to shut up. Be real respectful on set.
Watch
If
the
you got a
background
crowd
people
scene,
around you.
you have to listen to what's going on because those people, the PAs and everybody, are like maybe 40 feet away from you, and you
Right.
have to know
Right.
what they're telling you.
Some
So
of
you
you will
can't
go
just joke
on to
around.
set and never return, but I want you to have that chance.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
went on once and I swore I was so tired I'd never do it again. The next day I'm on Facebook going, come on, baby. I'm ready. Let's
Don't
go.
we say that all the
Yeah.
time?
Let's go. All the time. Yes, ma'am.
I want to comment about the how to behave on set. You don't harass the homeless because I was up in Albuquerque working on, and there were a group of boys. Maybe, I don't care what age they were, they looked old enough to understand you treat people with respect. And they started harassing a bunch of homeless people that came to our set asking if we had food. And they're like, oh, we don't have food. We don't have
Security
food."
should
Yeah.
have stopped that.
Yeah, the PA had to
You did
chase
not
them
have,
off.
yeah,
No.
you did not have accurate security.
No, yeah.
All productions are going to be different. Some are going to be treated like gold, some are not going to be as financed or as particular. But, you know, being on set is fabulous, so take the ups and downs. But please be careful, that's all I ask, be careful. If you've worked 14 hours and they ask you to come back and you don't think you can make it, don't do it. Please, your safety is the most important thing. And I think we are, it's a wrap. Yes, it is.
Oh, I just wanted to add one thing to your saying, bring the creature comforts with you. To add to that, that means like, make sure you bring a really warm jacket. Even if it's more summertime, at least have a warm jacket, bring warm socks. If you know that you're allergic to certain sunscreens, bring your own, things like that, bring your book downtime.
Yeah, I won't take long.
Those are all things that you may freeze. If it's a tight shoe.
It never occurred to me that you could put some
Well, I was gonna say,
Squat.
would your husband
Have to fix it in a minute.
like to fix it too? And I said, sure.
We'll fix the reset volume.
Yeah.
The person who speaks doesn't know about just telling somebody. I just couldn't find my words. I was nervous.
You nervous?
Yeah.
Call the media.
So nervous.
Call the media. You're never nervous.